Cool. So basically, this is what the social planner analytics looks like. So recently we started with first two social, that was Facebook and Instagram. Basically in the all area, the idea is that we want to show you all the social planner analytics from all the social. So it will show you which social is performing max for you, and it will also show you where to focus more your strategy around sharing your content, building your audience, and then converting them into a lead. But overall the idea is that when you go into Facebook as a specific function, the idea is that if you're connected 6 or 7 accounts, the idea is that we give you in-depth analysis on those 6 or 7 pages over there, or 6 or 7 accounts or profiles, right? So with that, the first option, which is like the all, it explains to you the number of total posts that you've created from social planner. It does not include any other post that you created from your native Facebook. We are going to sync that in and bring it here, but that's the first step that we have started. Like you'll be able to see using social planner, basically all those posts that you've created. It shows total likes, total followers, total impressions, and total comments. One of the big things that you will be noticing is that when you hover over any of the graphs or any of the written things, like you'll be able to find like what is the matrix type, what it does, and then basically it will also tell you the time zone it's considering, and then what are the supported social over there. Basically when we extend to all social, it's going to show up over here the supported social being, right? One of the mixed feelings from this particular graph, which is about the social post performance. Basically it shows you for last 7 days how you were performing with each social, like the number of posts that you are doing. Basically it tells you that on Thursday you did 5 posts on Facebook and then 4 posts on Instagram, and it also tells you total number in terms of like that day, how many new impressions you got, how many new likes and comments you got. Basically like right now, because that was not much likes and comment, but if you had more likes and comment, like it would have shown a better lined graph over there, right? So each day how much total impressions, likes and comments you are getting on a particular day, that is this particular line graph that it shows. The bar graph basically shows in each day how many number of published posts that you've done on a particular platform. Then it shows a number of posts, like number of posts that you've done, and it shows how well have you performed from your last week. So basically it shows an increase or a decrease if you have reduced your activity over there, and it just helps you to know that you've reduced your activity on a particular social. Here you should be focusing more on it. Then it also shows your engagement ratio, which is like share and comments. It shows you what you were doing from past week to this week, like the difference over here, as well as how many total like share and comments you were able to collect in this particular week, right? Same goes for impression, like how much impression have you collected in a week, increase and decrease compared to your last week, as in last 7 days, right? Same goes for your post reach. That's the same thing that you'll be able to see. These are your top performing posts that you are getting most like, shares, and comments on it. Basically, you'll get to know which post is performing max. If you click on view more, it just takes you to that particular post, and you'll be able to view that particular post out. Now with that, you also get your engagement score. So how many total impressions you are getting across the board for a particular social. Same goes for total followers and total likes as well, right? Then gender demographic. One of the key thing is gender demographic, is not supported for Facebook. They revoked the access of for Facebook in month of March. Post that, they don't provide the data to any third-party providers with the gender data, right? But still with Instagram it's still open, and then other social, wherever it's available, we'll be sharing that data out. Basically it gives you the data of what's your gender to male ratio, and then what age group a particular customer is coming from. So basically if someone's coming from 35 to 44, then your advertisement or the social content that you are sharing should be reflecting that sort of audience, the content, the description and the images. If it's more for Gen Z users, then the post that you're creating needs to reflect that out basically from it. Yeah. So this is what we have done for social planner analytics. I'll go ahead and share my screen again. The next thing that we are going to do is basically expand on other social, LinkedIn, X, YouTube, GMB. and then the Pinterest part of it, right? With that, they also launched Facebook Stories recently. If you saw that, if you select Facebook, you'll get the option to share it on feed, reels, and story. So if you select story, it tells you that these are the options available. So basically, you can add like images, video. In video also there are like 1 GB requirement. Then in images you can add up to like 4 MB basically, and use all the format. The Facebook story won't support the thumbnail part of it or the OG meta tag. So both of these things, like you won't be able to. We do mention this out in the error messages, so you should get like all that information right off the bat. Then the next part is LinkedIn carousel. Basically, you have like a like if like what works best in like LinkedIn, you'd know that PDF work best in LinkedIn. If you're utilizing that sort of a content, you'll realize that why it's like the best performing point overall for LinkedIn. If you create like a video post, an image post, and then a PDF, you'll realize that PDF performs more better compared to. That's the stat that LinkedIn itself like boasts about. So basically you upload your you upload your PDF, and then there is a setting that tells you that you can select the LinkedIn option, and it tells you that the post photos as a PDF document. So you can basically like create like, if there are like 100 pages in a PDF, you can just post them as a photo, but it just shows them like back and forth. It gives a better visual representation. If you remove this out, it will just share it as a PDF over there. And you can also rename your PDF title, which gets showcased inside LinkedIn over there. The next thing that you'll be able to see is like communities part. As of now, if you are running communities inside a sub account, if you have a replica of like a Facebook group that you are running outside, like with as a community for like sharing your learnings, if you are selling like a particular product, or you are growing your own audience for your blog, like communities work best for those kind of like use cases. So once you create your community, if you want to have a continued like scheduled post for communities, then Social Planner will help you to build that out like way before. So basically you have like community and you want to create like 3 month like scheduled post, you can just come to Social Planner and you'll be able to do it. I'll just show you like how to do it in terms of like where to go and what to do. Just give me 1 second. So you'll be able to go to like Social Planner. Basically, you come to like, the settings area. One of the main things that you'll be able to do is come to the communities area and then click on Connect Social. Then there is an option called as Connect Community. So if you click over there, you'll be able to see all your communities that you can add. In our case, I already have utilized like, majority of the community that I could add. But basically, once you click on Connected, then your community group will get added over here. Once your community group is added, you should be going to communities as an option over here. So one of my group is this particular one. I can select a user, a default user over here. Basically, they are the spokesperson about your particular community. For example, in our case, it could be Ryan, it could be Sean, it could be like, Chase over there in our case. So I'll probably add them as a particular user. So if you add this and if you create like 10 continuous posts, right? These people will be shown over there as a default. You can choose to add another person to be on whose name this particular post will go out as. So I hope that I was able to share.
One question on that, Pooja.
Yeah.
How are we handling permissions? So, like, could the average, or I should say, can a account user schedule posts as if they were like the CEO or some other admin user,
No,
um,
basically,
without their permission, or how does that work?
so we were going to keep like in between option where a particular admin can approve or not approve. Basically, the
Got it.
idea is that Social Planner will only be used by someone who's an agency admin or a location admin or a location user, and they are cognizant about that. They'll be having like that much of setting that the spokesperson about a particular community is this person. We wanted to add the approval flow, but it was becoming too much of a hassle to get that particular list of like users. because certain time, like once you have added, they might have added wrong email ID and everything. Like we were running into like, lots of like, in between steps. So we assume so that the person who is adding them out as a community is already an admin, and only admins will be able to do this particular job. So that way, like we have just secured it out in terms of like, the default will be selected from the admins that are there for that particular community.
Yeah.
Charles, you had a question.
Um, I like that you can select who you're representing when you're scheduling the post. The problem I see is relevant content. So take HighLevel. Sean's going to do the coming at you. So maybe there's a new release channel, and we want everything that goes into that channel to be Sean. But then when it comes into social planner updates, we want it to be Pooja in her channel.
Yes.
So is that coming?
Yeah, that's how we have done it. So basically, over here, like when you are selecting, you're not selecting the particular channel over there, as in you're not selecting the group, it's you are selecting the channels over there, right? So
Right.
on basis of channel, that default that you had selected will show up over here as default for channel and channel two. Uh, basically your channels that you have, right? So by default, it will
Yeah.
show over here Sean in both of them. You can come over here, you can edit it, you can keep like Pooja as like, for social plan, as in channel two, you can add it over here as Pooja. Basically, we are giving you an easy set of access just to reduce down as much as like,
Is
redundancy.
is that a per post option?
Yes, that's
Like what
per.
you're showing? Okay, so are you going to bring that over to the defaults side? So I can just set it like one time and I don't have to set it on every single post,
That's
especially if
what
I'm doing like a CSV upload.
Yeah, that's what we are doing as of now. So you will be able to utilize it. But just FYI, communities don't work with CSV as of now. We are going to extend it
Okay.
with that advanced like CSV enhancement.
Okay. And RSS. Right.
Yes, and RSS. RSS recurring post and all the drops will be like
That's going to
part.
be my new broken record. RSS for communities.
Get this guy a t-shirt. It just says RSS all over it.
RSS, yes.
RSS and CSV. That's the way to go.
Nerd alert.
Who wants it? Who wants to go in there and actually create a post every day? Come on.
That's
Exactly. That's
fun. It's
exactly
a
right.
delightful
Yeah.
experience. It's
Yeah.
lovely.
Great use of time.
So the next thing that we are going to discuss is the schedule category queue, right? So as a discussion that we did yesterday also, always like, we wanted to show you more idea around it, like, what we have built and how we are going to go ahead. There are certain things that's still in development. I'd probably say I'm giving you a pre look at it, but I'd probably say we've not yet ironed it out everything end to end, but this is something that we have built as of now. I'll just go ahead and share my screen. So the idea with category queue is that anytime like you have done in your past, like, posting using a particular category, imagine that it was Black Friday over there, right? And imagine that, you knew that, with Black Friday, there are like, 600 categories that you've added, as in 600 posts that you added. I'll just, oh my God. Okay, I need to remove the queue. Did someone just change the queue? Cool. So basically, the first option that you will be seeing is like you will come to the new post area. There is an option called as category queue. You'll be able to come over here and search for the queue as in the category that you want. So basically, in my marketing particular queue, there are 21 posts that we were able to find that were published already. So I'll select the marketing as one of the option. Then I can also do two more options. As of now, we are still working on those options, but just FYI, we are going to give it as like, one of the future sets that you'll be able to say. So you will be able to enable future post queuing. Basically, you had 21 posts and then like, 22nd post also got added to that particular queue. If you want to add them out, you will be able to do it with this particular option. Anything that particular category has a new post, you can add that to the queue. And then you can also prioritize that 22nd post that was created. You can put it as the first in queue, and then the whole queue will start. If your queue does not have a specific relevant, campaign, if it's generic in nature, then you will be utilizing this prioritize new content option. Now you will be choosing on which days your particular queue you want to continue. So basically I'll say that I want to have it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I can also share that I want to have one of them at 3 o'clock, one of them at 12 o'clock. And I'll also add one of them at some different time. Yeah, cool. So basically this is the queue that I've created, and then I will say queue my post, right? So once you clicked on it, it will show you all the posts that are there as a part of your queue. And it will also show you the social that was already utilized previously when you created this particular post, right? It just helps us to reduce down as many errors that you get with that particular post, because you intended to create previously with that particular social. So you're just trying to reduce down as much as error that you might be facing. Now, in future, we will also give you the option that you will be able to restructure them out. If you want something that's last in the queue to be at the top of the queue, you can do all of those things. Now, for example, this text text CQ is one of the posts, right? And if you want to add multiple variation, you will be able to do that as well. So basically, I can do, yeah, you'll be able to do multiple variations over here till 4. So I'm just going to do another one, and then, yeah. And then I can also see everything that has been added over here. I can also add any new picture that I want, or anything that I've added. And I can basically go over here, save this out. Once we have done the saving part, you can also go to the preview section, and you can also view everything that you just added as of now to that particular post. I hope this was still here. Everyone is all good with all the flow part.
Yeah, Pooja, we had a question from Dia. She asked about when there's an error and you fix the error, what happens with the queue? So where does the original post go? Or she said, will it move to the last of the queue, or will it be ignored altogether?
Oh, so basically the queue does not change the post timing, right? The error does not change the post timing. If you saw over here, like earlier, I had a queue error over here, if you saw it specifically, right? So basically it shows the post with an error over here, which is a separate tab. It goes away if there are no errors. We don't want to give any wrong information to the customer. So anytime there is an error, that particular post gets skipped inside the queue. If, for example, there are 16 posts, and that particular post in between did not post because of XYZ reason, usually there will be no reasons other than the integration got expired, or your permissions got revoked for that social, because we have already collected those posts that have already successfully posted on a particular category, right? So we are only going to bring those posts. If there are errors, it will show you over here with the errors, and you'll be able to work on them, right?
Gotcha. Dad, do you have a follow-up for that? You had your hand up.
Yeah. So if I fix the error, so it will just go away, and then it will stay on the queue, on the line of queue where it was at. But then I won't get asked if, let's say, if it's just a general post, I won't be asked if I wanted to reschedule it.
So basically, if there were 10 posts in a queue and one of the posts got errored out because of permission or your integration expired, it just becomes a failed post. You can clone it out, then put it again out, but it won't be considered in the queue as of now. Because the idea is that, queue is continuous, right? It does not stop. If it fails, it fails. It's like a normal function. It will pick up the next post in the queue for the next queue timing whenever it's been scheduled, because we don't want to post when something got failed because of an integration error. Usually that won't get solved if we send next post for posting, right? So we assume so that you've already fixed that particular error out, and your next post will go out on the scheduled time, that way.
And it sends a notification to the
Yes.
admins?
Yeah, I'll show you how to set that up as
Okay.
well. That's one of the tip of the day that I want to share with every user. Yeah, cool.
Awesome.
So with
Thanks for
that,
that question, Dave.
you will be always be able to see how many variations you created for a particular post. So basically imagine that, you have created a queue. Now that queue of 10 posts will go out with first variation that you had. If with the second time when the queue starts, it will use your second variation. We are giving you this variation so that you don't keep posting the same image, same content together. And Facebook marks it as a spam content because or any other social, because you want to have a different social imprint and you don't want to get nagged down with the social engagement part. So we always want to give you the idea of content variation. This will also come down in recurring post, but this is just the start, which we have done with the category queuing part of it. Yeah. Cool.
And if you have
Freaking
multiple
love this.
variations, multiple variations of the post, we have to create the variations. You don't have like a spin text or anything in there that would create the variations for us.
No, so we don't want to give those kind of option as of now, but we'll give you one more option that's called AI part of it, which will a quick
Right.
button will create it out all for you. But that's something that will be cool, looking in Q1 or Q2 as one of the main functionalities. We want to go the AI route for social planner, in 6-7 places, but all that will be one of the themes that will go in Q1 or Q2. I would not probably say Q1 because we want to focus on our UI UX, and then a Q2 something will be the main idea behind the AI side for social planner. You'll be also be able to choose topics of your social planner. We'll give you themes of those topics, and then you can create your 3-month calendar using that particular theme of AI, all your social posts, images, videos, and the content around it. That's the goal that we are moving with something called as social planner AI. There will be error. Please just avoid it because this is still a working staging. And once you
Pooja,
have,
before you leave there, I'm sorry, on the variations, I don't understand. So if you do the variations, how does it do the post in the queue?
so basically first time when it goes for the queue, right, it's going to use those 10 with the first variation, whatever you created. Second time when it goes for the queue, right, as in the second queue starts, at that point of time, all second variations will be used. In some of them where you not use second variation, it will use the first one as a default. Then third one will go out when the third queue starts. Fourth one will
Got
go
it.
out, fourth queue. The idea is that you keep posting with an evergreen bucket, but without having the same content going out, just so that it does not affect your reputation and engagement. Yeah. Cool. Yep, Leo, you can go ahead with your question.
So I'm trying to understand the error thing. From before this, what I understood is you try to post it, something doesn't work, it shows you an error. Now somehow the error comes up even before we try to post it. Is it the same error that we're solving here, or will there still might be error?
No, I'll explain to you. Basically, you had 10 posts, right? Imagine that initially when you started the queue, initially when you were just doing social posting, you were creating 10 posts with a category and it was publishing. Now, all those 10 posts will be pulled together for you as of now, right?
We'll do what together?
As in, we'll pull all those 10 posts that you had published with that category that you've chosen, right?
Yes.
Tell you that these are the 10 posts that you can post, right, with that category. We'll also tell you the error that might be there with that particular post, which might have been missed out when you were posting. If there are any errors, for example, something like the image that you used is not upgraded, or something the text that you might have added, something is corrupt over there, example, or something your watermark logo has been not working properly. Those kind of things will highlight to you beforehand only. We already know, because these are published posts, there might be error rate to a very low minimal stage, but we still want to show you that there will be errors. So we are just giving you exceptionally that these are the errors that you need to fix before going and starting your queue out.
So if there is an error with the posting process itself, then we won't see it. We will only know once it's tried to post it, and then we'll get a notification of this post didn't work. Now,
because that reason will only come if your integration has expired or your permission has not gone through. These are the only two main reasons that it will not work for you. Yeah.
I see. But if something like that, okay, I understand. Because I saw people post about posts not being published, and then before the notifications were live. For that, I think there is a notification for that now, right?
Yeah, I'll show everyone, like, where you can find the notifications. I'll show you right away. So basically, you go to Social Planner. This is one of the tricks that, you should definitely be using. This will save you long time, for sure. So you go to, Social Planner setting. There is an option called as notifications over there, right? So we give you predefined 6 notification as of now that you can run in order to know that if you have a failed post, if you have a pre-expiry or an expired account. This way, you will get always notified if something didn't work in your favor, right? So this is the best way to keep yourself informed. We are going to bring in-app notifications as well, but that's something that we'll be looking in Q1 or 2 to be implemented. We'll also add that same functionality inside mobile app too.
So now I'm looking at the last 2 notifications. In a case where, rejected is by user, I'm assuming, not,
Yes.
so the
Yeah,
last notification failed. So when I'm looking at the failed one, and it's during a queue, and a post fails during the
Queue.
upload process in a queue, how would that affect the next posts?
Yeah, so it does not affect the next post. Your next post will go out on the same schedule. Like, we'll show you that this is your next post that's going to go out in this particular date. It will try to post that out. Again, if your account is expired, you already get an account expiry notification also and post failure notification also. Both of them will tell you the truth in terms of your post is failing because of, your account has expired. The other one will definitely highlight that Facebook account expired or Instagram account got expired that way. Yeah.
Now, if I understand, also the token is I think every time we post, it gets we
automatically refresh.
Yeah.
So I guess, this is something that we did as an exercise just to remove this account expiry part for Instagram and Facebook. Basically, imagine that Facebook gives us 60-day token ideally, right? So imagine that, with that 60-day, what we have done, if in 60 days you put one post in for Facebook and Instagram, what we do, we just refresh that token out to another 60 days. So in between, you will never face, if you keep posting from Social Planner, the account expiry part. The only thing that can happen for account expiry is because someone changed permission on lead connector through Facebook app permissions, or someone revoked the permission of that particular person or the app over there.
Gotcha. Now, my other question is, I didn't post anything yet, and I want to start creating a category. Do I need to start posting and saving them into the category, or can I create bulk? This is the category and just start the queue without posting them first?
No, so initially we don't want to go ahead and tell you, basically you start creating a category and as in you should start creating post with that particular category. The idea is that we don't want to promote something that does not exist in that category as of now. But because we give you one option called as anything you add new to this category, you want to start the queue, it will still work for you. Okay.
Gotcha. So I can't bulk upload and then queue it. I need to upload each one of them manually and put them all in the category as I upload them. And then I can schedule them all. I can schedule them all and put them all in the category and then have that queue start when the scheduling finishes.
Yes. But with the CSV advancement that we are going to bring, you can also add categories to it. So that is going to be something that is a game changer. Inside your CSV, you have 60 posts, add a category, you add it out inside the planner, they go for published state. You create a category and you add that particular category over there, start running. Any new content that you want to add to the category, just mark it checked over there and you will get newer post added to the queue.
Beautiful. Gotcha. Thank you.
Yes, Glenn.
Yeah. So the whole category thing is really interesting to me. And I asked the question yesterday about creating my own content buckets and not, because I have different customized content. So the question with running categories are categories, let me give an example. If I was in the dog business, would the category be dogs, and then that could have subcategories like, different types of dogs, right? Beagles and German Shepherd, or do I have to create a category for each type or category of post I want to make?
So you will be creating like, each type of dogs category, basically, not like dog as a category as a main menu and then like subs. Because the idea is that, you want to use category. Imagine like, in real life scenarios, right? Those categories are more going to be like, your special holiday offers or something called as your Black Friday offers or something that you want to tell people about, like, any successful matrix that you might have achieved for your company, or something in regards to any specific services that you give in like, month of winter, like those kind of things, like will be something that you might be doing, right? The idea is that that category will allow you to keep on posting till winter is over, and then like you pause it out once the winter is off. Then again, when the winter starts next year, like for you in like October, you just start again, like resume that particular category and keep on posting on it.
Okay.
Good.
I don't
And
want to stop you. I'm behind on this stuff, so I'm trying to catch up, and it's
no
nice to
worries.
see you guys doing this
It's
stuff.
like,
Yeah,
we'll
so go ahead.
reach out to you separately, because like we understand that you had a use case for even for template library. We are
Right.
making some changes to social planner template library as well, and we'll come back to you. I guess like, way back you asked me like, single post category sort of function, so we are also still building that up and working on it. I'll reach out to you separately, me and Shreya, on it for sure.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Cool. I'll go ahead and go to next things. The next thing that we are going to work on is the comment management part of it. The idea is that we want to give you an option where you can manage all your social post comments that are coming in. The idea is that, social planner will work according to comments, and we will also sync these comments inside like the conversations tab with user base. For example, like, in our case, like, if Ryan commented on one of our posts, then we'll show inside conversation that Ryan has reached out, and it will show that particular post and the comment from Ryan. You can either do comment from conversations tab, or either you can come to social planner and add your comment from here as well. So both the ways, like we'll try to put in as much as possible, like, handle from both the side in order to give you the access. Yeah. Yep, Charles.
When this comes out, the one thing I would love to see is in the sub-account company settings, a toggle to not start conversations
Yeah. So we
and to
are
keep it. So that way I could pick it, like I could do it either way. I could have it in both places, or because one thing we're seeing a lot of in like the Facebook group is people saying, how the hell do I stop creating contacts from everybody that does something or sends me a message on Facebook? Or Instagram. And so if they're, once this social inbox comes in, if there's a way to disable it on the conversation side so I can just have this by itself and it not necessarily create a contact.
Yep. So what we are going to allow is like something called as like, multiple smart list function, which is like your saved view inside conversation as well. So ideally, like, if you don't want to see in your main view all this comment, you can just bifurcate it in a separate view, and you will be able to see them separately. We don't want to stop them from coming, because the idea is that, we want you to close those comments out if you are running them down. But the idea will be like, like conversation team is also coming up with like one solution, which is like, multi-view conversations, where you will be able to see multiple views, and then you will be able to filter and like, bifurcate your chats out. So that is something that is being worked upon, but I'll take the feedback and we'll work around it on that.
Yeah, because I just look at it from, so if I hire a VA to manage my social media, I'm going to give them access to only my social media.
Got it.
I don't want
Right.
them in conversations.
Got it.
I just want them in the social media planner. So they can do that with the inbox. They can do what I would want them to do, respond to comments, interact. They can do that part, but I don't want them to have to go close out a conversation, and I certainly don't want to see the conversation.
Got it.
There's just a lot of use cases where I think it's a little bit information overload in the conversations window at this point, where
Yeah. So
every
that,
spam message we get off of Instagram comes in there, and it's just,
yep.
it's
So I guess
getting,
like we are working on it in order to give you like that better experience. But they're going through a lot of revamped items. So I'd probably say like, I'll discuss this out with the team and we'll work
yeah.
on it. So
Smart list sounds great, but if it still shows them an unread count, it doesn't really help me.
no. I'd
Just
probably
be
say like
honest.
we want to give you a special view over there. This is just comments. In future, like DMs will be something else. And then like, the other things like which plays a primary role, like we'll give them like, bifurcated view. So I guess like, I'll have a discussion with the team and then go from there. Yeah. One of the
To Charles's, I'm sorry, to Charles's point, in an environment where you're selling to like a small, tiny business owner who's running everything himself, maybe there's some argument to have stuff in conversations, whatever, because he's the only one seeing it. But as soon as you bring a team of people into a scenario working on a platform, you have to be able to separate these areas,
Yeah.
so that teams aren't seeing other people's stuff.
Got it. Good. For sure, like we'll try to do the controls part and bifurcate it as much as possible. I'll put in like a word to both the teams and we'll go from there for sure. One of the top items that we are working for quarter 4. Cool. Go ahead, Dutch. I'll go ahead with the next set of items.
I was wondering, Charles was talking about a toggle to switch off and on, like all the comments coming in. Is that not a quick solution in the meanwhile while we're figuring out what to do with it? Because I get so much spam through like different channels coming in. So I can imagine that people just want to switch it off completely for now until
No,
we find a
I would
solution.
probably say like that's the easier solution, but we've not thought
Mhm.
through that particular path. So to put again as a comment and like get it re-bifurcated, because this is already in works, as in we have already started working on the POCs. So I need to put in like, get all the team members together and get them to an agreed point on it and then go from there. As in that's more like us to figure out, but rest taken, like I've taken the feedback over here.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
So the things that we are focusing in quarter 4 for major items are the advanced social planner analytics. For all the other socials that's left, we're still working on certain like, certain graphs and everything to make it more like, visually appealing as well as give you better data. We're also going to bring these graphs inside dashboard and reporting area as well. So you'll be able to use all those social planner analytics that you get today. And we're also going to sync in that was like, something that you created native inside social planner. So you get the data to play around like 7 days, this year, this month, this week, like that sort of a thing, so that you can play around and get as much as data. We're also going to bring in few more things, like you can schedule reports on it, but that will be something that, will get all these elements of social post analytics inside like the custom report, and you'll be able to then schedule them out. Like that's the goal that we are moving towards with the analytics. Then the next thing that we are doing with the bulk CSV enhancement, I guess like we talked like at length in the previous call, but just to give you a gist, the idea is that you will get like 2 types of CSV option. One is basic, the other one is advanced. With basic, whatever you do today, like that is what is possible. But with the advanced, the idea is that you should be able to do first time comments, add categories, add recurring post or not. And if you are using GMB, then those subtypes that you get, like you should be able to add them out. If you want to add privacy checks for like TikTok, you should be able to do that. You should be able to do like anything in terms of like, shorts, video and reel. You should be able to specify to us that this is the short video and reel. So we'll be focusing on all these enhancement in the bulk CSV part. But the idea is that, that's more for advanced use case, not for someone who's looking to just do like, basic post structure. So we're going to give that option with the bulk CSV enhancement. Then as we talked about the engagement for the comment management part of it, the inbox, that's something that we are going to do. Then the next thing is the search function and filter preferences. So the idea is that if you want to search today a particular post, you don't have a search like, by word sort of a thing. So you'll get that search function. And then the filter preference is more like, creating multiple smart list view. If you want to just see all the scheduled posts, you can just create a filter of it and just put it out. If you just want to see all the approved posts, you can do that. If you just want to see failed post or like something called as published post, you can just see those filled as and create a view for that over there. Yeah. Then we are going to add new media library support where, multiple images can be selected at all together instead of going one by one. That's something that we are going to fix like with the new media library upgrade. Then we are going to bring in optimization of media. Basically, any video or image that you used to upload, right? I see a lot of people facing this particular issue that it shows an error over there that, like, for example, if 10 MB is allowed and the image is around 11 MB, it tells you that, this is not optimized media, right? you need to create like a new image with 10 MB. But the idea with this optimized part is that we auto optimize for you with 10 MB rather than you optimizing, going to a third party platform, doing it, coming back and doing that particular part out. So that is something, but this will be an option to the agency, not something that will do by default. Then you can sync your outside post of social planner inside social planner. Basically, the idea is that, anything that you create in native will show you that's a native post created inside Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you did. And then adding music to the reel. This is more like a compliance thing that we wanted to take care into mind when we are allowing music because of copyright issues. Like, for example, in US, there will be 60 songs allowed, but that's not same thing that you can use for any audience from China, right? So we're just taking in mind over there all those things and keeping the legal and compliance part intact. So we're still working on this particular part. So it will be more like a proof of concept done in this particular quarter. Yeah. I'll go ahead. Yes, Leo, I'll be able to answer.
Two questions. One about the music. So this is not using because in Instagram there's an option to, when you create a reel, to choose trending sounds, things, music, things like that. This is not that, or is it?
This is that.
Oh, okay. Amazing. My other thing is the analytics. Are they only for posts that have been posted using the platform, or will it also pull analytics from posts that I've manually posted? Because a lot of things need to post manually.
As of now, it's just the social planner ones. Later on, we are going to bring in anything that you've done natively inside. So once we allow that native part of it to showcase inside social planner, we'll also be able to get the analytics around it. But because the numbers were too high, we were still playing around in terms of knowing that this works for social planner for future numbers and everything. We were just doing that particular part out. Once we are done with it, we'll definitely reach to a point where we'll get the data for that as well inside social planner.
Okay, and because I'm posting all of things with collaborations with other accounts, and this is a big thing that Instagram is pushing right now, to collaborate with other accounts. So I have to post it manually, which means I can't use it as a reoccurring post, and I can't do it in the category, and I can't get analytics for it.
I guess we did have a discussion on it around the calibrator part, but we still are figuring out which API works. We are still in talks with the Instagram team as in for API thread on it. It's still not too much available. It's still available to few providers. It's not available to all the third-party providers as of now. So we are still working on getting that on our base.
Gotcha. Last thing is, when we schedule posts, and it's a bit of combination of this and automations, we have the trigger word automations. Being able to schedule a post and then find it in the automations trigger to have an automation linked to it, because right now we're scheduling a post. We need to wait until it's posted and then link the automation to the trigger word to that specific post. Not sure if you're the person for this, but I think that will be very, because does that make sense what I'm saying?
So we want to give you the option to create those kind of automated posts from workflow, but I'd probably say we're still working on because if you realize
I'm not talking about automated posts. I'm talking about right now there's an automation that if someone comments the word Friday, they get a comment, right? They get a comment in a DM.
Yeah.
Now, when I choose this trigger, I can choose which post it will work for.
Yep.
But I can only choose past posts, not future posts. So if I'm scheduling a post and I'm putting that, I need to manage the automation as soon as the post is posted, which is kind of defeats the purpose of posting scheduling the posts.
Yes. So I would probably say, can you raise this out in workflow presumes and I'll also raise this out as an internal comment from our side as well. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Great question. So we got some hands up still. All right, let's go. I don't know who was first.
Yes, Dutch, go ahead.
Dutch, yeah.
All right, I got a really tiny little comment. Request. We still call it social planner, but what we are now laying out is so much bigger than just planning our social media.
Yes.
Is it an idea just to call it social manager, maybe? But that is maybe, I think it makes more sense because we're growing so much in this.
I would probably say, like, I have yet not given a thought on changing the name part of it yet. Because, like,
Well,
we built our SEO on it in terms of help
Mhm.
docs and other things like
Yeah.
videos. That's why, like, changing now the name, it makes, like, too much hard to go back and build those things again around. But for
Yeah,
sure, like, I
so
discussion with
You
Dutch,
guys don't use
we'll
custom
we'll
values
be
for those
talking
things?
about stuff like this. Well, we talk about stuff like this across multiple teams,
Okay.
but they are big decisions. So I see what you're saying, where it's not just a planner, maybe social posting or something like that. But to what Pooja is saying, essentially, it's like what seems like a small change is
for
most
us,
of the
it's
time
a
It's not
much
a,
bigger than a small change. Yeah.
it's not a
I would probably say, like,
functionality. It
it's a
is.
so small change for
Mm.
us. Like, I'd probably say,
Yeah.
like, blink of day, like, I can just bring a developer that change it out. But
All
like,
right.
probably it will, like, bring us down in terms of, like, our engagement ratio. Will have to ask, reach out to marketing, get all our ads, anything that's been, like, running for us as a post.
We probably get about 50 support tickets in like an hour saying, "Where's social planner?" So if we change the name, so
No, but I can imagine, because I know you guys doing a lot of revamping of the whole thing.
right.
If that can be somewhere on the list, it just makes a lot of sense. But
Yeah, if you
yeah,
can, Dutch, throw it in the it's not really like a product idea, but throw it in the ideas board and maybe I don't know, throw something in the community or something. We'll push up the ladder and talk to some people internally, but
I think there are more things in the whole platform that people would love to rename or something. So
sure.
if we have a chance to do those things, that would
I
be
would probably
awesome.
say that I already raised since yesterday, like when the name change was proposed, I already raised it out as one of the feature enhancement to get all the sub account menus, anything that can be renamed for a sub account for white labeling purpose. And then you can also change the order, the sequence, everything. Like that has already been put in as an idea internally to the other group product manager.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for my little
Yep.
tiny little thing.
Pooja, wasn't that something at Level Up? Custom menus and stuff for white
Yeah,
labeling?
it is.
I can't
It
remember.
is
Yeah.
there, but it's there for agency side of it. Basically, we don't
Yeah.
allow shuffling and everything as of now. So that particular part, we have just changed it out in terms of to
Right.
promote. So I'm talking to like Sid and his team to get this like one of the prioritized item for like quarter one.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, Sean, go ahead.
Hey, Pooja. Not sure if you have any insight on this, but in terms of communities, do you know about the file sharing on communities? Do you know how that's coming along or anything? Okay.
I would probably say I'm the wrong product manager or like the wrong group ladder. I
Yeah,
probably
I
say
figured that,
the
but
best
it just took a chance. Okay. All
The
right.
best
Thank you.
one is to reach out for that is Shivani and Nilashish. I'll drop the calendar links over there. They'll be able to
Thank
give
you
you
so much.
right.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
What's up,
Yep.
Glenn?
Yeah, so we should call it Dutch social. But in any case, I just to go to bulk CSV enhancements. So we had a problem where we uploaded stuff, it didn't get approved, it passed the date, and then nothing ran. And then we were unable to go in manually and even individually change the schedule on those posts. So I've got a sheet sitting in my CSV that's useless now, right? Sitting there.
Why was you not able to change something? Can I go ahead and share like how it is done? And then like we'll go and what's part of like, CSV enhancement is something that I'll be putting forward. Like I'll bring in the designs and everything that will give you a bit more better idea.
Yeah, no, that would be great. I'd love to see it. I'm inquisitive kind of a guy and ask a lot of questions. I'd love to know that. But here's my question. You're doing this category thing, and before you showed something where you could set that category to post at certain schedules, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever it is. That to me, that's really big because I have posts where I want these to go on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. These will go Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, that kind of thing. So if I upload a CSV, does it then matter, or can I leave off that first column of the date and time scheduling? And will the category feature you showed where you're setting it handle the scheduling of the posting? No.
They are draft posts. Basically, if you don't add date and time, we are assuming that's not published. They are not published, so you are not comfortable sharing them in category queue. The idea is that this is something that we have talked with Facebook team, Instagram team, and LinkedIn team at length. and we have showed them this idea, and that's something that we've kept on talking with them. The idea is that anything that's a published content, you already know it has gotten some sort of an engagement over there. We already know it's been proven that this has published out. You already know that this is already working in your favor. Now only those content you want to put it in category queue with your content variation. The idea is that you don't want to drive something that's like continuously going to post. In your case, like, for example, you are just thinking in terms of like, okay, there are like 600 posts and you are doing it. But someone who has only 5 posts and they are doing it in queue, if they are doing that, then they need to know that queue, once you start it out, like that will keep on posting with that same content or with the variation content every now and then, right? And that if it's already been a successful post previously, you already know this is going to work in your favor, right?
Okay. So how about so the problem that we're running into is in what I've described to you. If I want to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, like to give that to a VA, like to have to take those posts and parse out what I'm looking for, and then put the right dates in the column, or use some kind of a script or macro to create like, okay, this has got to post on the 7th and then the 9th, like it would just be easy to upload the post in a window like you were describing, right? And then to be able to just say, okay, these posts are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and click these posts, and these are Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So is there any, I guess the question is, how do we make it easier? Because if I hand 100 posts to someone and I go, well, here's 50, these got to go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. How do I do that? How
And
do I
then
get
you
that to
want the
happen?
queue posting, not category queue posting. Basically, you just want a queue posting, as in you have 100 posts, out of that 50 goes on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The rest goes on like the rest of the days, right? That's something that you're expecting. I'd probably say like we have yet not reached that level of like, advancement. I'd probably say like we want to drive that out, but we are still going with the feedback what we got from all the social, as in the Facebook, Instagram, and like, LinkedIn team, that this is how you should be doing. Once a published post already has an engagement, that you should be putting in your queue, not something that's like, still future and you don't know it has already performed well for you. But that is something that we got as a feedback, does not mean we are going to stop there. We will build the queue posting part of it from our side, which is something that, on Mondays, these are the 10 posts to go out, these are the 2 posts to go out. You can use at that particular point, but I'd probably say like we've still not reached that level of like, maturity in terms of that particular feature, which is around the recurring post being like, we allow multiple variations over there, and you can just schedule them out on every Monday that you want that way as a bucket.
So how do I manage it? If I give a CSV file to a VA and I go, these are the Monday, Wednesday, Friday posts, and I give another sheet to them and go, these are the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday posts, them to calculate, use Excel to calculate that stuff, they don't know
What
how
are
to
you
do
what are you
that.
calculating though, Glenn? Like if you just give
Well,
them a
because
sheet and they just have to upload a CSV, it's as easy as uploading them and assigning a date.
It's not,
Well, but the
well,
problem is the date, like
it
for
is, but it's
today's the
not.
7th, and then there's
Mhm.
next one has to go on the 9th. But if you use the Excel sheet to fill it in, it's going to fill in the 8th. It's going to autofill the 8th in on that date because it sees a space. So
Mhm.
you need to be like, if I want to do it every third day, it's not every when it could be. So this week it's a Tuesday, the third day, and the next week that the third day after the last
So
post is a
yeah,
Friday.
right. So what it sounds like to me, so in Excel, you can do, gapping and numbers and that pattern recognition, right? So if you go like 1, 4, 8, 12, and then you drag it down, it'll keep going like 16, 20, 24, right? It'll recognize that. But I guess Pooja, maybe is there something that we can either add or surface in the CSV uploading where we have a column for that so we can recognize
So
that pattern, like the gapping in between the patterns, in between the
as a
numbers?
capping can be fine, but we are going to put in the recurring option in that advanced CSV part, right? So by that, like he can be able to achieve like this should go out on Monday, the first 50, and then the
Right.
next 50 on Tuesday. Like that should get achieved with that particular function. But the gapping part, I would probably say like, I'll have to sit down and then again reassess. But we have something on our idea or radar, which is something called as queue posting, which is not related to category. It's just queue. Basically, you pick
Right.
100 posts, you add it over there, and you just want this to go out on Monday, Tuesday, or like, Monday motivation, Tuesday, something like that. So that's like something that will allow you to do that. Queue posting, we are not want to, like initially we did not wanted to go by that route, because that is something very typical, which we have seen that people ask for it, but the adoption on it, or it does not help you to grow your social engagement part of it. That's something that we have kept gathered as a data, but I'd probably say like we'll revisit this idea and like, come back and work on it. And I'll separately have a call with you, Glenn, in order to like, give you an assessment on like what we are doing for that CSV enhancement part. It might suffice everything that you are asking with that.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's out of the normal realm, but I get manufacturers send me stuff. This is
Yeah.
only good for this week or only every Wednesday. And I give it to a VA and they don't understand what, and then they put, and then I look and I go, it's wrongly scheduled. I can understand it, and I can sit down with Excel and use it, but I shouldn't have to do that. I should be able to hand
Yeah,
it to
no,
someone and
no, for
go,
sure.
I want this posted. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
I'd probably say
Yeah.
like I'll sit down with you and understand like, the use case and then map it down with like a solution around it. Because ideally, like, because this is more like a specific solution, we'll go with the queue posting. But I'd probably
Okay.
say like I still need to grow that adoption number on all the options to get like, one more new feature and introduced. But yeah, rest
Pooja,
assured, like delivering the
ha-
solution.
are we only focusing on days of the week, or have we talked about something like a switch, like a drop down that's like either days of the week or number of days? I think that's kind of what might help Glenn solve this problem, where it's like, hey, I'm gonna post every third day. So it doesn't matter what day of the week it is. If I schedule on Friday, 3 days from then, 3 days from then. That's nothing. We haven't talked about that yet internally.
No, we haven't. That's the reason we give recurring post on it. That does
Yeah.
exactly the same. But the idea is that that is recurring. We don't promote over there multiple content part of it, which we are going to have in quarter one. Once that is done, that does exactly same. It's just that wordings don't sound like that. It's same as that you want this particular post to go out every week on this particular day. That way. It just sorts that out, not every 3 days sort of a gap sort of a part.
That's the problem. Yeah. And Andrew, just so you understand what I'm envisioning is that I would like to take the sheet. Here's how I would love it for. Upload the sheet. Now I got this 100 posts sitting here in a queue somewhere, and they go, when do you want it to go out? Every third day, every second day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Just do a
more
wizard and
variety,
say,
just a little bit more variety, a little bit more options, and
Yeah.
like I think what Pooja was saying was,
but take it
Yeah,
out of
we-
the spreadsheet and put it into HighLevel, into a function that a VA can upload the sheet and then just
Well-
select, this is when I want this posted.
yeah. So it's
So-
just product maturity at that point. We just gotta
Yeah.
get the UI,
Okay.
get people around it,
Yeah.
Okay,
I'd
so-
probably
take a
say,
little time.
with that, I would probably say like every quarter we try to add one new feature, like an example, like review post, RSS. Now it's category queue. We'll definitely mature out and we'll add these kind of option. But as of now, if we keep adding it and if we don't see maturity level, like, product growing in that same way, we're still struggling with certain UX issues. Once we are done with all those things like optimization of videos, everything, I'd probably say like, these are the things that we'll be dipping into, which is like more advanced cases for like, someone who's into like enterprise or like someone who has
Right,
like,
I know.
like,
I'm a
Yeah.
4-year GHL guy, so I'm waiting
Glenn,
for these.
one thing, if you were listening to Level Up, one thing Varun was saying was UX and QA, like quality assurance, is going to be a really, really big focus for just moving forward in general. Because we're at that point, right? We've been focusing on features every quarter, feature. And so we're still doing that, but we're trying to make sure that those features keep up with user, functions like
and
UX and
we're
stuff.
also looking like, time to value for a customer. Recently, our focus has moved from like, just being a feature factory to moving towards like time to value, which is like, an average customer coming over there, how much time it gets them to get like, proper analytics for each post. Like that's the only goal, like, each product manager has been given with each product. So growing with that, like we need to be focused more around like, is it getting value from social planner being used by an average agency that's just doing like basic social posting as of now, right?
Okay,
So
thank you.
I'll have a separate call with you and I'll go from like,
Thank you. I don't want to take up time. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
What's up, Charles?
One thing, so Tony and I both come from Cloud Campaign, and the one thing that I would love to see, and this would solve a lot of Glenn's issues at the same time, is, and now you said if it hasn't been posted, we can't add it to a queue, but
we want
for
to
the
bring that
agents,
also in. We also want to
Right. But
in.
as of right now, it's not that way. So my thought process is, and Tony will understand this from the cloud campaign side, is that you're essentially turning the social post into an actual product. So if
Yeah.
I can upload, currently I can upload a CSV with no dates and times. It'll draft them all and I can add them to the template library. If I can then have an end user say, hey, I want to create a queue and drop this template into that queue. So I'm a real estate agent. And, I sell a custom, 50 or 100 pack of social media posts, real estate agents. They can then create a queue and add a template from the template library into that queue, even though it's never been posted, and they
Yeah.
set their schedule, whether they want it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever. That was one of the big selling points of Cloud Campaign, was that you're essentially turning that whole system into its own product just
Yeah.
from the queue. Like
Yeah.
it was
I
almost its own
probably say,
standalone product.
yeah, this is also something that they already planned out. This is the version 1 of the overall system.
Yeah.
Version 2 of it includes that scheduled part as well, as in anything that's in draft or scheduled part. You'll be able to pick and choose and add them to that queue and then go from there. That's something that we already taken care into mind. If a CSV is created with a category, or even like a normal post that you created with a category, even if you're using something from a template library, anything that has that particular category will get added to this particular queue. You choose your social if they don't have, and then anything that already has been published, it will show that this has been published. You pick and choose which post you want to add it to the queue and then create that queue out. We are working on that, but behind the picture, I just want to say we are just as of now in version 1 with published posts based on the feedback that we got.
Yeah.
Later on, we'll add the scheduled part of, or even the draft part of it to that queue list. Cool.
No, I just wanted to throw that out there because everything Glenn was
You
talking
already
about,
taken.
I was screaming in my head. I'm like, okay, that to me, that is if I can create a template knowing his industry, as special as it is, Glenn, knowing his industry, knowing how that content comes across, if he could take whatever they send, quickly upload it with no dates, no times, no
Right.
nothing, create a template, and then hey,
Yeah.
it's there if you want to use it. If you don't, great, don't. But it essentially becomes a separate product all by itself.
Got it.
So, which
No,
I think is the biggest advantage of the queues.
No, I'd probably say I understood the use case. We already capped that out during our initial analysis. We already have things in place, but this is just the first mechanism part of it in version 1. We'll definitely bring in newer updates to it, like how we did for review posting. We keep growing on it based on feedbacks, but I'd probably say we will reach on it. Once this gets launched, we will focus on the other rest of the part, which is the schedule and the draft to be added to that particular queue. Yeah, we'll do that. For sure.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Pooja.
Thank you.
What's up, Tony?
Hey guys, I'm struggling to get my point across in the chat, so I just want to speak it out quick. User permissions. Is it possible, I know it's a different part of the system, but to make social media a little bit more granular?
We
I
already
could have
have
swore we had this, didn't we,
item.
Pooja? Didn't we already have this?
Actually, we have an item. So basically, what the internally it has been decided. All the teams have been instructed. If you want to use the current set of permission, go ahead and use it. But if you want to go for more granular permission across the board inside your product, we have to raise a request and we'll be getting implemented. I'd probably say it's already in pipeline for Social Planner, and Q1 will be touching on it as one of the major items that will allow. So you'll be able to create collaborators, managers, and then just the user part of it, and then give them different permission. Basically, the CRUD function of giving them the creating a post or setting an approval part of it, viewing the analytics part of it, or creating specific type from it as well. So that's something.
They could do everything except post.
Yeah.
And then they need a manager's permission to post. Perfect. That's what I was looking for.
Cool. I guess Anne, you can go ahead and
I have one user question about the blog area. I had made a new funnel and then I had pulled the widget over, but it seemed to have pulled in all the types of blogs, all the articles that were
I
all.
would probably say I'll have a separate call. I'll drop my calendar link
Okay,
over.
no problem. Next
There is
question.
a-
Next question then would be the workaround for like what we were just talking about, the Instagram, not Instagram, the social media uploads. Would there ever be, or is it already a thing? Like I know that I can make one folder in the media library, and upload a whole bunch to there. Will there be a function to actually be able to share an individual media folder? And then I think it's awesome that you also integrated with Google Photos, because then with Google Photos stands the reason that we could make a folder in there to share. While there isn't like, an area quite yet where we could do bulk templates right inside the social media area.
So
But like,
bulk template can be done using template library. You don't need like media library to be present over there. Basically, like, social planner templates will allow you to do that. If you are like, on any plan, you'll be able to go to CSV, click over there. It will tell you upload your own social planner template. Click on that, create that out, and you'll be able to put in images and your caption over there to go out for your social post template library. You don't need like, media library to do that. Media library is more for your asset management, which is
yeah,
around images, video, and everything. We're going to bring in Canva. I wanted to share with everyone that is a good news. We're going to bring in Canva and media
say no
library.
more, hand down. Oh my God, love you. Cause like, the thing that's held me back was the whole like CSV and formatting the time and and then I'm just like, okay. And I'm rather tech savvy, but that was just something that wound up going on the back burner. As far as like
That's what I ran into. Yeah. Yeah.
the bulk
Yep.
upload because of
Yep.
the way the timestamp is. So
Yeah, I'd probably
uh,
say the timestamp thing is also getting improved in our CSV enhancement part of it. So you won't be required to add that second.
boom.
It's just be-
All
Yeah.
Hey,
right.
Pooja, you say you're going to bring in Canva integration. Do you know when that's going to happen? Because I know it's been up, it's been down, it's been up, it's been down.
So I'd probably say like before end of December, you should be seeing that's your Christmas gift that might come in.
Awesome.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's freaking awesome. Well,
Pooja,
are you oh, sorry, go.
all right, go ahead.
Probably one more thing that you should be
Just one
checking.
question, Pooja, is on the CSV import. It's imports up to, I think, 90 days. And then you have
90 posts, 90 posts, not
90
90.
posts. 90 posts, yes. So will that be expanded so we can do like a whole year or
Actually,
straight up?
we put a constraint because we saw how many pages it used to conclude to, because of the fact that it already went to 10 pages. Like,
Okay.
if you look at a normal agency, they won't ever upload anything more than 5 pages. We did an analysis on like how many posts were getting created with each CSV. The average was around 50 posts. So with
Okay.
that, it comes down to that. If you extend it more, you're going to face more problems with like, the processing time. Yeah.
All right.
But that
Thanks.
goes back to the queue. That goes back to the
Can I
queue. So
can I
if
go
you're
ahead
running
and
a queue,
yeah,
you
I
can do
want to share two more.
3
Uh,
months.
I want to share two more things before I end the call. In terms of like, with the two more things to end with. One of the main things that Canva is coming inside Media Layer, but that will be available for all the products, not just for social planners. So basically, you are at any other product, you will be able to use that out. The second part of it as an enhancement to it is it's the Canva import, not the designer part of it. Designer APIs are not open to anyone. The day it again opens up, like there is still opening only in China, and we don't want to we are not a company running in China, but any day it opens up for everyone, like we'll be the one of those importers over there, definitely working for the designer side.
So Pooja, it'd be like integrating your Canva account, right? And then seeing all your Canva designs when you want to import them in a funnel, into an
Oh my
email,
God,
into a
it's
social
freaking
post,
awesome.
something like that. Yeah.
It also
Like the
brings
Google Drive integration.
Right.
It also brings in the folders you might have created inside your Canva. It brings in also those kind of option inside here as
Very
well.
cool. Very cool.
Oh, can I be greedy and ask, are you going to have a direct integration with HeyGen? I mean, it's already, okay, already this week, what I did is I was able to pull, HeyGen does business with Canva, so, but it would be nice if HighLevel did a direct integration.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't heard anything of that. I don't know about Pooja, but might
yeah,
be
I
a
would
Sean
probably,
question.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll probably say it's more like Sean question. Like,
Yeah.
go ahead and add it to ideas wood. If it's like sitting at top of the idea, we'll definitely talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say thanks that you did the podcast footage, because I took the raw files from the podcast footage and I made myself an avatar in HeyGen. So I reutilized that since last night. So Sean knows about that. So
Very cool.
my Scooby-Doo laugh. Oh my God.
No, for sure.
Good questions. Thanks,
So
guys.
one more thing that I wanted to share. So if you were using CSV as of now, we are working on one of the options that is one of the UI UX improvement. Basically, you are going through a process of like, your CSV gets uploaded, then it goes to a state of in progress, and then you go and review and schedule it out. And then a button opens up, a window opens up. We are going to remove that in progress option altogether. So as soon as you upload your CSV, we'll start showing you how your CSV looks like inside Social Planner. And then you'll be able to add, edit, and then process it out. Basically, we are going to remove something that was coming as in progress in between as the button. And that was like, making a lot of people scared, like, why are they doing like, why it's taking like 15-20 minutes to process a particular thing. That thing, we are going to remove it out altogether. You upload your CSV, you'll be able to see it right away over there. You don't need to wait 15-20 minutes to get that CSV to view. So that's the improvement that we are doing behind the picture with the load testing part of it. Yeah. I guess
Awesome.
doing the last discussion with Charles, probably like we are over time. So I want to close that out as fast as possible. Yeah. Go ahead, Charles.
Sure. Charles, did you want to comment
You
on
are on
that
mute.
before we end the
Go
call?
ahead.
Oh, we can't hear you, bud.
I was just going to say earlier when Sean was talking about the year of content, there's really no reason to do that anymore with queues. That's one of the beauties of queues is that if you put in 3 months worth of content, well, nobody is going to remember what the hell you posted 3 months ago. If they
Yeah.
do, they need to get a life.
Freaking 3 seconds
But
ago.
yeah, so you can do 3 months of content and it simply regurgitate itself every 3 months and it could go on for years. That was one of the big things that Cloud Campaign and like why a lot of social agencies were doing those queues and those template packages because they could just drop it. It costs little to nothing for the agency to do it. They spent money up front designing and getting everything figured out, and then they could just rinse and repeat. They could onboard hundreds of accounts, and you're essentially turning the social planner itself into this wonderfully power standalone product. And with the new map, guess what? It is not a primary tool, so you can sell just the social planner, and compete with all the other social planners out there for $50 to $75 or $100. As more and more stuff comes in, it's going to be that more powerful. I did have a question about the music though. Is there going to be an integration possibility with Artlist? They do have an API. And I just know from like an agency, like protecting my own butt, I would rather use something like Artlist as an integration point because they will also handle the disputes.
The copyright
So
part
as
of
it, yeah, so like because even if it is, let's say that you license the music, like it's fine, you can use it. What ends up happening is if I post a video or something to YouTube or Facebook, even though it is not the copyright item, there's just enough of it that sounds similar enough to and it flags it, so it takes it down. Then you have to go through this whole reversal process that's an absolute pain in the rear. The benefit of Artlist is that you just say, hey, here's my post link, go take care of it. And you don't have to do crap. And next thing you know, plus you have a whole library of, licensable music that for
That's a good idea.
30
I like it.
I
Pooja,
probably
we
think
can-
like I'll reach out to you separately on this. We have been thinking more different on this idea, but I'll show you what we have been thinking. We have been working with like, a few of the ideas around, but we are running down internally with our legal team just so that we don't want any copyright infringement or any of those stuff like going to agency, right? So I'll reach out
Yeah,
to
and
some particular item.
Artlist does have a REST API. So I thought they did. I did double check. And they're able to pull in basic information through the API of the artist and the name of the song, and
Song and
I think they
everything.
can provide a
I'll probably
preview
say like
MP3.
that one we are already able to get it from market, but the fact being that we just don't want to like, allow, like, for example, if you are putting your content out in certain countries where it's not allowed to share that particular artist or something is banned out over there, we just don't want you to share those kind of content to that kind of public.
Right. And
All
that's
the-
where Artlist comes in. So it doesn't fall under any of those complications because it's not, they're all independent artists. So, you can pick whatever the heck you want and you don't have to worry about it as far as the country or region restrictions.
That's a good idea. I think Pooja, whoever we got to talk to kind of run that up the flagpole.
I'll run it up. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, Avanto Elements too, they have a whole section on that. So that's what, until I canceled them, but that's who I would use. Because then you would download it, you download it with the license, and then you would attach it to the project so that there wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
But if it's from the Instagram music, why would that be an issue? Like specifically in Instagram, you choose the music there. Instagram wouldn't have an issue with music.
Meta has a licensing agreement.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
That's a legal conversation,
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into that.
Particular approval. So, for example, if your audience set has the sort of like, users, not just US, you would need a particular set of approvals done. And that is something to be uploaded from your side, that you're not going to use anyone's copyrighted or stolen music anywhere. Something that you get, like, if you go to any of the logo creator places anywhere, right? They ask you to get all those approvals, sign the copyright infringement, and then only publish it out. Same goes for music. They do it same thing for your follower list. If your follower list is from particular countries, that's not a problem. But if it's from like, some countries where it's not allowed to publish those kind of music, like that's where the problem comes into picture. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Awesome. Well, I think that about wraps it up, guys. Thank you so much for all the questions. Pooja, thanks for the awesome presentation. And if you guys have any questions for Pooja, did you put your email in the chat for everyone?
I'd probably say I've not done that. Let me just do that. And I'd probably say this might be like, one of my last town halls for Social Planner and blogs. We have a new product manager on our group. Her name is Nancy. She's also part over here, and she'll be doing it next time. I missed out blogs. I've not completed blogs overall today, but I'd probably say like next time blogs will be the main focus that will be walking everyone through. And we have some major things coming to blogs. So I'd probably say like, we'll be looking forward for your feedbacks next time when we talk about blogs. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.